I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm fired up. Listen to that music.
Ready for
Ready
for some week 12 of college football.
Yeah, ready to hit somebody. Let's go.
Yeah.
Don't try that, Bubba.
Okay.
I'll take care of you. But that's good music. I wonder whose fight song that is.
I don't know. Well, you will find out next week, and that will be a poll question.
So, welcome
week.
to
Picks from the Press Box.
Week
12.
Week 12.
Already.
All right.
I can't believe it's already week 12. I remember week 1 like it was yesterday.
Yep. So, the middle of the season's not real great as far as games are concerned, except for just a few.
Yeah.
Everyone's waiting for the big rivalry games, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite week.
And that'll determine league champions and all that important stuff, the stuff that you like to talk about.
Yes.
But not me.
I do. Not you.
So, how'd you do last week, big guy?
Not very well. I went 4-6.
4-6.
Hey, but you didn't do much better. You only went 5-5.
4-6 is about the worst you've done, isn't it?
There was 1 week that we went 2-8.
Yeah, 5-5. So, who were the big upsets?
Well, for the total, first off.
Oh, that's right, for the year.
I'm 76-34, and you're 78-32.
All right.
And then the games I wanted to talk about was Bama LSU. Do you have any opinions?
No, I didn't get to see much of it because I was driving a moving truck.
Oh, that sounds like fun. But
during the game.
I thought, when I watched that game, I thought no doubt in my mind that that the Heisman Trophy was going to Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
No doubt that it was going to Joe Burrow.
Well, he's certainly good, but what did you think about the teams?
Well, Bama's defense definitely struggled against Joe Burrow, but
was it just passing?
no,
How'd they do against the run game?
They did better against the run, but they couldn't stop Joe Burrow.
Yeah, was it quick passes, short passes, long passes, or?
They had a mix of both.
Yeah, so.
And then Bama's offense, Tua.
Did they get any pressure on Joe Burrow?
No.
No?
No.
So the offensive line played well for LSU.
Yes.
Did Alabama blitz much?
No, I'm pretty sure they played a lot of zone.
Okay, so.
But I could be wrong.
So the message there is he's a good quarterback when he doesn't get much pressure. Is that what you're saying?
Even when he does get pressure, I think he would do fine.
Okay. Well, you got to just trying to get a good scouting report for the future. So.
And then Bama's offense did not look good.
Really?
Well, they did not for the first half.
Yeah.
Then the second half, they started to light it up a little, but they just they took too long and they dig themselves into a hole that they couldn't get out of.
Yeah, they were behind, but did they run the ball well? Did they pass the ball?
I think it was more their big plays definitely came off of the pass.
Yeah.
But when they ran, they averaged I think they averaged around 2 yards, so not very good.
So LSU controlled the line of scrimmage, it sounds like.
Yes.
And except for some passing plays.
Tua did get pressure too.
He did?
Yeah. All right.
So
what about Penn State getting upset?
Well, I actually watched that game because I recorded it because I was still driving a truck.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see that game live. I would say Penn State's offense is pretty limited. If you shut down that one fast wide receiver,
KJ Hamler,
which they tried to get the ball to him in various ways, from long passes to slants to some screens. Their other receivers didn't contribute much. Quarterback was tougher than I thought he would be, but he was pressured some, and the running game just wasn't that dynamic to compensate for all that.
Yeah.
On defense, they did a good job, but I was impressed by Minnesota. Minnesota was a good balance.
Their offense looks very good.
Balanced offense. The quarterback threw efficiently. Their wide receivers made a couple really special catches that could have gone either way.
They dominated the time of possession.
And their running game was good. So I think their play calling and their balanced offense really carried them. And their defense was good enough to contain
KJ Hamler.
what I said was I think a limited Penn State offense.
Well, yeah. I think going into that game, Penn State was much overrated.
You think?
Yeah, I don't think Penn State was as good as as everybody claimed.
So we'll
I
talk.
don't think they were number 4 in the country going into that game. But I did want to say, before I forget, I want to mention that we didn't talk about it last week, but Chase Young got suspended on last Friday, and
who's he?
star defensive Young for Ohio State.
Okay.
Or star defensive
End.
end. Sorry, I don't know why I said
Yeah.
Young.
But that's all cleared up now.
Yes, and he missed the Maryland game, and he's going to miss the Rutgers game, but he will have fresh legs for the Penn State game.
Yeah, and of course that scouting report now on Penn State will get into more details before the Ohio State Penn State game.
Yep, no, they have
but
to
that
go.
that was why I watched the Minnesota contest, because I wanted to see how good Minnesota was. Hadn't really seen them much, and I was also doing a little scouting on Penn State. So.
Fair enough. All right. And then what about Uncle Paul?
Oh, Uncle Paul, thanks for sending us your thoughts on various items, including
Minnesota and
Minnesota
Michigan.
and Michigan. That was, those were very timely comments. I agree with you that Minnesota is really a well-rounded, well-balanced team.
Agreed.
I can't say they have one player that's spectacular,
Their quarterback looked pretty good.
but a good overall team effort, certainly. And his analysis of Michigan, I think, is pretty fair. They've certainly improved
Since the Penn State game.
since early in the year. And I kind of get a little feeling about a certain game at the end of the season might be reminding me of, I think, the 1969 Ohio State-Michigan game.
What about it?
Well, it's either 69 or 70 was one of the biggest upsets that I can recall, with Michigan beating Ohio State at Michigan.
Yeah, what did I tell you?
So-
Ohio State's going to overlook Michigan and then lose.
They won't.
What did I tell you?
They won't overlook them, but they may not win. But we'll worry about that in a couple weeks.
Do you think they'll win?
But Uncle Paul, thanks for your comments. They were very, I think, on target, and we appreciate it.
All right, early pick.
No,
Michigan or Ohio
save
State?
it. Save it.
Oh.
Let's move on to this week's picks.
All right, yeah.
And we
Finally.
need to speed this up. Our director is getting
Mad.
mad at us. So,
All right. ACC, Wake Forest travels to Clemson, and
not much to talk about here. Clemson's favored by a lot.
yeah, they're getting 34. Wake
ACC
Forest is.
ACC is terrible, so no competition for Clemson.
Yeah, I think after last week that Valtech loss was very upsetting. I think I thought Wake Forest may do something, but I think just Clemson's too dominant. Well, it's not even that they're that dominant. It's just the AC sucks.
Is weak, so
Sucks.
let's not talk about it anymore.
All right, Big 12.
We agree.
OU goes to Baylor, and OU is favored by 11.
Yeah, another conference that isn't very strong. Baylor,
This is the biggest game of the year for the Big 12.
barely won last week. So, I'm going to take Oklahoma. I just think they're too strong.
I'm going to take OU also. I think it will be close, and I would love to see Baylor get upset OU. But I think Jalen Hurts will just pull some magic out of his hat.
With his receivers and
with his receivers and
The
his
defense is going to have to play well to beat
yes,
Baylor, though.
it will.
Because Baylor can score points.
Their offense looks pretty well.
Okay, and it's at Baylor.
It is in Waco.
Yep.
The battle for the Paul Bunyan Trophy. Michigan State travels to Ann Arbor.
Okay.
And they're getting 13.5 on the road.
So, I am going to take Michigan.
Yeah, like Uncle Paul said, they've improved. And Michigan State has gone down.
Yeah, I really don't have much faith in their offense
After losing to Illinois.
and their consistency, so lack of consistency. So, Michigan's the better overall team, but that's not saying much.
I think they'll have a very good home field advantage against their in-state rival, and I think that they get the job done. All right, another rivalry. This is our Pac-12 game. Navy, Notre Dame.
Pac-12 game? How's that?
That's
fit?
why I did this.
Oh, I don't understand that.
There's no other better Pac-12 game.
I'm taking, so you don't like the Pac-12 at all this week?
No,
I'm taking
they don't
Notre.
have very good
I'll
games.
take Notre Dame. Let's move on. Who are you taking?
Yeah, give me Notre Dame.
Okay.
I think it will be closer than people think.
All right.
But SEC, the Old South rivalry,
Yeah.
Georgia and Auburn.
Yeah, Georgia and Auburn on that regional CBS network. So
Network you love.
yeah, with the worst commentators available.
Oh, I'll have to watch that game with you this week.
So it should be a good game.
Yeah, it should. Georgia is favored by 2.5.
Both of them are struggling for relevance in the SEC at this point. So I'm gonna take Georgia.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Georgia too.
Ah!
I'm gonna pick with the favorites in Jordan Hare.
You got to take a few upsets to catch up with me. Okay. I'll give you one more chance. Auburn or Georgia?
I was asked to pick the right games, not the upset. Give me Georgia.
Okay, let's move on.
It's time for the lightning round. Zap! All right, La Tech Marshall.
La Tech.
Yeah, La Tech. And Marshall's favored by 5.5.
Wow.
Surprising.
Yeah, it is.
Texas, Iowa State. Iowa State's favored by 7.
I'm going to take
In
Iowa.
Iowa.
Iowa State. They're, I think, a more complete team.
I think Iowa State's upset about that game from last week.
Yep.
And I think that they're gonna have a chip on their shoulder.
Okay.
Give me Iowa State.
Lightning round. What's next?
Minnesota, Iowa, big game in the Big Ten.
That's going to be a close one. I'll take Minnesota.
And by the way, Iowa's favored by 3. Minnesota, yeah, give me the Golden Gophers. They keep the ride going.
Really? Iowa
They
could
keep
win.
rowing the boat.
Let's go.
Indiana, Penn State, 7-2 Indiana. Penn State's favored by 14.5.
I think Indiana's lost a couple key players. I'll take Penn State, even though I'm not feel real good about their total team effort. Go ahead.
Penn State.
Same
And
again, huh?
South Carolina and Texas A&M.
South Carolina, A&M.
Yeah, A&M wins. I don't think they win by.
Same teams again.
I don't think that they win by 10.5.
I think you're copying me. So,
All right. The last week's poll question answer was B, Alabama.
they had the longest win streak between
Yes.
LSU
Alabama.
and Alabama. And this week's poll question will be
Who was that fight song?
on the intro.
Yes, and you have A, Michigan State, B, Navy, C, Minnesota, D, South Carolina.
Okay. So, that wraps it up for this week. Getting ready to get into the rivalry games, getting
2
ready to
weeks.
Thanksgiving. Watch some good college football this weekend, even though these games aren't the best. But
They're
we'll
not as
see
good as
you,
last
Uncle
week.
Paul. Keep watching. Enjoy your Michigan State game. Bye, everybody.
Bye.